Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your weekly general overview with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It is an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share. If you should so choose, go on and hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, thank you so much for the support. You know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for us all. What is going on? Alright, and this week, as we head into a brand new month, can you believe we're already halfway through the year? Like, where has it gone? Literally. Destiny card is the Star card. Hope, optimism, joy. This also talks very much about the internet, right? So this is about connections. It's about interconnectivity. This card actually represents the tribe, right? It represents the group or the group mind or the group consciousness. And the thing that I love about the Star card is it really is hopeful. It really is joyful and it really is optimistic. It very often sees people banding together. This is where you're going to see groups, you know, smaller groups join in larger groups. This is where, and I said this last week, you know, the will of the people was going to be something that really started to shine and come through, and you can see that a lot at the moment. What I kind of feel has happened though is it's been a bit disparate. Nobody has kind of taken the bull by the horns and said, look, we need to you know, form a movement against some of the injustices that we see. Lots of people are speaking up about it, which is absolutely fantastic, but there's no organization behind it as yet. And I feel like this week that's probably where we're gonna get a lot more of this. As a destiny card, the Star card really does say be open to the possibilities, be open to collaborations this week. This is, you know, you could very well hear from somebody that wants to collaborate with you. You could very much be joining a group or forming a tribe of your own, right? This is where people are going to start to come together right now. You know, this is where people are getting, sorry about this, I've got this thing lately where I just randomly burst into song. I don't know why it keeps happening, but whatever, I'm sure the purpose is happiness, whatever, right? That's why we sing. And the Star card, I mean, for some of you this could even be about a choir, right? Joining something or a group, or aligning yourself with groups or people that speak to your soul, you know, finding a place where you genuinely feel like you fit in, where you, and even if you do stand out, that's you know, that uniqueness of yours stands out and stands to serve you in the best way, shape or form, and is actually taken into the wing of, you know, of the group or the tribe and said, look, actually, you know what, that thing that sets you apart actually makes you special. And that's the thing about the Star card, it does represent the sign of Aquarius. So this is very much going to see people being very outspoken when it comes to defending and protecting each other. We're going to see a lot of that this week. Even people and groups that might seem to be disparate or usually disagree on things, I feel like this week we're going to see some very unlikely and possibly even shocking alliances being formed. So keep an eye out for that. So let's have a look at the direction. How does this shape up? What is it likely to pertain to? The other thing about the Star card as well that it really is worth mentioning here is it tends to also give a little glimpse into the future. It represents Aquarius, right? So not just the people and, you know, the group and the mass mind and consciousness. It also represents that glimpse into the future at how things could or should be. And you guys know me, I don't like using those words very often. But in the context of what I'm talking about there, I actually feel like it's quite relevant. So the direction, how does this Star card shape up? What is likely to transpire or happen? You've got the Two of Pentacles, so there's going to be some sort of mass balancing act going on, especially where it comes to finances. I feel like this week we're going to hear more news about the cryptocurrency. It may very well be that when it comes to stocks and shares and bonds and all of that sort of stuff, we're going to see a big fluctuation in the market, and I believe that's because a lot of people, you see the little ting, I need to make a separate video about that, right? And I feel like the big thing to say here is that there's going to be a lot of shifting of money and currency from one place to another. I feel like a lot of people are going to be, you know, I don't know why, but there's a lot of people, I mean, there's always a lot of people watching the markets, right? But this week I feel like something's going to be highlighted, and it's going to be about the movement of finance or assets from one place to another. I'm definitely getting a bit of a Robin Hood sort of feel to this, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if there is some kind of Robin Hood type story that comes out, or some kind of story that, you know, sees people moving things that don't necessarily belong to them. I mean, the only real big sort of example I can give is the Wolf of Wall Street. So that will be interesting. So what I want to do now, so that's the wider world stage, right? Let's bring it down to a personal level. How does this affect us on the ground? You know, the everyday people. I am everyday people. All right, so the star card. In terms of the destiny for all of us, this is about finding your tribe. This is about finding your people. And no, this is not another ad for Tribal Tuesday. This is me talking about people really reaching out in the spirit of collaboration to find people that they truly resonate with, to find people that are truly on your wavelength, on your level. There's going to be a lot of connections formed this week, and a collective vibe of cohesiveness, which I absolutely love. The star card, and then with the Two of Pentacles in terms of the direction, we're all making more grounded practical decisions this week. We're making more decisions based on the facts, right? Aquarius, cool, detached, logical. So the star card sees a lot of people looking at alternative means to make money. It sees a lot of people asking themselves, okay, is my bank doing what it is supposed to do? And ultimately, how am I how am I doing in terms of financial health, right? This is seeing you looking at things at a genuinely broader perspective. So this is like honing down on your life, but asking yourself questions of, is this going to get me to where I want to be? Is it supporting or facilitating my growth? The direction that this is going to take is you weighing up the facts. Does this work? Does it not work? Does it say what it does? Does it do what it says on the tin? All of that sort of stuff is coming through this week, where you're asking yourself to make grounded, practical decisions so that you can get the best and the most out of life. All right, so let's have a look then. Ooh, wrong deck. At the inside, what is playing out here? So what's the extra info or tidbits that the tarot has to share with us? And this week we all get the Page of Swords, right? So this is not a week, I have to tell you, whatever it is that you are working on, this is not a week for launches. This is not a week for you to share certain things. I mean, interestingly enough, this goes to the 2nd of June, right? So the week after that, absolutely brilliant. And I think actually on the 3rd we've got a new moon in Gemini, which is very interesting because you could see a lot of communications and stuff forming in this week before a lot of people then go forward to start actually doing it. But with the Page of Swords as the insight, this is not a week to share your secrets. This is not a week for you to it's not a week for you to share your secrets. It's not a week for you to share ideas. It's a week for you to collaborate on things, to get second opinions, to hash things out, to put things out there. But it's not a week for launching things. And any ideas that you do have, my advice is keep them under wraps, because they're not quite ready. It's almost like there's this thing that you want to do that is kind of in some form of infancy. For a lot of people, this is about looking for a new job. I'm kind of getting this feeling of mass migration from a company, which is really interesting. So on the wider world stage, you're going to see a lot of employees threatening to walk out or possibly even going on strike and I'm talking like a big globally known company. I don't know which one it is as yet. It could very well be a technology based one or a financial based one, or one that, you know, is an intermediary for the two. On a personal level, on the ground, this really talks about a lot of people looking at their professional lives lives at the moment and saying, does this really suit me? Does this really, you know, do I really feel settled? Do I really feel like this is where I am supposed to be? There's a big question mark over this at the moment. There's a lot of stuff happening in people's professional lives, which is really, really interesting. And then finally, with that Page of Swords, it suggests that there are a lot of interviews taking place, but there's also a lot of conversations that are exploratory. So if you find yourself having weird conversations with people, my advice is this week, don't give away too much. All bets are off at the moment, you know, with the current astrology. You guys know this, things are a little bit strange up there, which makes us on the ground all, you know, not like we're not all the way anyway. It's making things a little bit odd down here. Nothing specifically detrimental, but this is not a week to divulge your secrets if you have any. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know how it shapes up for you in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.